Alexander didn't sleep that night. The apartment was silent. Ava had retreated to the safe room, and he was pacing the main floor, dark eyes scanning everything, calculating every possibility. His phone buzzed. Secure message. Another piece of the puzzle. Ava appeared in the doorway, cautious. "What is it?" she asked. "Someone on my board," he said quietly, jaw tight. "Someone I trusted." Her pulse thundered. "Who?" He hesitated. That pause was all it took to make her blood run cold. "Liam Corbett," he finally said. Ava's stomach twisted. He's behind this." Alexander's jaw flexed. "Yes. He tipped Daniel, gave access to internal files. He's the one who made your life unsafe." Her heart raced violently. How could he betray you? Alexander's dark gaze softened briefly as it flickered toward her. Obsession blinds some people. Greed blinds others. Alexander made it clear. Ava wouldn't face this alone. "Stay with me," he said. "This isn't just business anymore." Ava nodded, chest tight, pulse erratic. They arranged a private confrontation. The boardroom at night, empty except for them and Liam. The door clicked. Silence. Liam stood, calm, smug, unshaken. "You really should have trusted me," he said softly. "I only did what I thought was necessary." "You betrayed everyone," Alexander said darkly. "And for what?" "Survival," Liam replied. "It's the way the world works." Ava's pulse raced as she watched the two men, power and danger radiating from both. Ava stepped forward. "I trusted you," she said, voice shaking. "My father trusted you. And you used that trust to manipulate everything." Liam didn't flinch. "Trust is a luxury in business. You'll learn that." "You're lying to yourself," Alexander said, voice low, lethal. "And now you'll pay." The tension exploded. Alexander moved closer to Liam, aura dark, threatening. Ava's chest heaved. She realized the danger wasn't just professional. It was personal. "You're going to hurt him," she whispered to Alexander. "I'm going to stop him," he said. "By any means necessary." Her breath caught. "That's dangerous." "Dangerous is my specialty," he murmured, his dark eyes meeting hers. "Possessive. Obsessed. Protecting. Claiming." Liam stepped forward, smirk fading as he noticed Alexander's intensity. "You think obsession makes you strong," Liam said. "It blinds you. You can't protect her from everything." Alexander's jaw tightened. "Try me." The air was electric. Heat, tension, and danger wrapped around them like a physical force. Ava's heart thundered. She realized she was watching more than a business conflict. She was witnessing a dangerous, obsessive love, one that could protect her, or destroy everything around her. "You're mine," Alexander said quietly, almost under his breath. Her breath hitched. That wasn't just a warning to Liam. She knew it. She felt it. Liam's smirk faltered. "We'll see about that," he said. Alexander's eyes darkened. "No, you won't." The battle lines were clear. The stakes higher than ever. And Ava realized something terrifying. Being the woman Alexander Knight wanted meant danger came from every angle, and obsession was as deadly as any weapon. As Liam was escorted out by Alexander's security, Ava followed him to the safe room. "You're obsessed," she whispered. "I'm not obsessed," he said softly, voice low and intimate. "I'm protective. And you are mine." Her chest tightened. Her pulse raced. "You can't control everything," she said. "I will control everything that threatens you," he admitted, voice dark, intimate, lethal. The line between protection, possession, and love blurred. And in that moment, Ava realized. She was already too deep to escape. The city was quiet. Too quiet. Ava had returned home after a late meeting, thinking she was safe. She unlocked her apartment door, unaware of the shadow waiting inside. Before she could step fully in, hands grabbed her from behind. A cloth pressed to her mouth. Ava struggled, but it was no use. "Alexander!" she screamed silently, panic clawing at her throat. The last thing she saw before blackness. The city lights through her window. Alexander was in his private office when his phone buzzed. A text. A single photo. Ava, bound, gagged, eyes wide with fear. The words. "She's ours. Don't try to find her or you'll regret it." His jaw clenched. The calm, controlled billionaire persona shattered. He grabbed his coat. His car keys. His phone. "This ends tonight," he muttered, voice dark, lethal. Every security camera. Every guard. Every possible exit. He left nothing unscanned, nothing unchecked. His obsession fueled him. Every heartbeat. Every step. Every thought consumed by one idea. Get her back. "Alexander," Marcus's voice on the secure line warned him. "Don't do anything reckless." Reckless. Alexander's voice dropped to a growl. "She's my life, Marcus. If they hurt her, I will burn the world to ashes." The warehouse was on the outskirts of the city. Empty, echoing, shadows falling across broken crates. Ava sat on the cold concrete, gag removed, trembling. "Who are you?" she demanded. A man stepped forward. Dark suit, cold eyes. "We're here for Mr. Knight's message. She's collateral." Before he could move, Alexander appeared as if from the shadows themselves. The air crackled. His presence was magnetic, lethal, terrifying. "You touch her," he whispered, voice like ice and fire. "And you die." The men froze. Alexander moved faster than humanly possible, subduing them one by one with a precision that made Ava's breath catch. Every strike, every move, carried obsession, love, and something far darker, possession. Finally, Alexander approached Ava. She tried to speak. Words failed her. He reached for her, gentle yet possessive. "You're safe now," he said quietly, voice low and intimate. "No one touches you. Ever again." Her chest heaved. Her pulse raced. "You didn't have to risk yourself," she whispered. "I did," he admitted. "Because losing you isn't an option." "Alexander." "No," he said, holding her closer. "Don't speak. Just feel. I'll handle everything else." The obsession in his gaze, the intensity of his claim over her. It was terrifying. It was intoxicating. And Ava realized something she couldn't deny. She was his. Fully. Dangerous. Consuming. As they left the warehouse, a secure phone vibrated in Alexander's pocket. A single message. "This was only the beginning. Daniel knows she's been moved. Next time you might not reach her." Alexander's eyes darkened. "Next time," he whispered. He glanced at Ava, pulse racing, protective, obsessed. "Then I'll end them all," he said, voice low and lethal. Her breath caught. She realized she was part of a love that could destroy the world, or protect it violently, obsessively, completely. "And you let me believe this was purely about my father." Silence. Then, "I would burn down my own empire before letting them touch you." The intensity in his voice shook her. "But you were part of building that fire," she whispered. His eyes closed briefly. "Yes." The air felt suffocating. "I need space," she said. "No." The answer was immediate. Her eyes flashed. "You don't get to say no. There's still an active threat." You don't get to cage me because you feel guilty. His jaw tightened. This isn't guilt. What is it? It's knowing that if you walk out that door alone, I may not reach you in time next time. The fear in his voice was real, but so was her anger. You should have told me from the beginning. I know. And you didn't. No. Silence swallowed them. Her voice broke slightly. I trusted you. His eyes darkened. I know. And now. He stepped closer again. Carefully this time. As much as you hate me right now, he said quietly, you are safer with me than anywhere else. The words felt both true and unbearable. You don't get to decide that. Maybe not. His voice softened. But I will still fight for it. A tear slipped down her cheek. He reached up instinctively to wipe it. She stepped back. The rejection hit him. Hard. You don't get to touch me right now. Something in his expression shifted. Pain. But also restraint. He lowered his hand. Fine. The distance between them felt larger than the entire penthouse. You said the file exposes you, she said. Yes. Then let's open it. His gaze sharpened. You're sure? Yes. Once you see it, there's no going back. Neither is there if I don't. Silence. Then he nodded. Tomorrow morning. She held his gaze. No more secrets. A long pause. None, he agreed. But as he turned away, his phone vibrated. He glanced at the screen. And for the first time that night, he looked unsettled. What is it? She asked. He hesitated, then slowly turned the phone toward her. On the screen was a photo, taken from outside the penthouse, through the glass, of her, standing by the window, watched. Her blood ran cold. They're not waiting, she whispered. Alexander's voice dropped into something lethal. No. He looked at the image again, jaw tightening. They've escalated. Her heart pounded violently. What do they want? His eyes lifted to hers. You. The sun hadn't fully risen when they entered the archive level. No staff. No board members. Just two security guards Alexander trusted with his life. Ava's hands felt cold despite the controlled temperature. This is it? She asked quietly. Yes. The encrypted system required dual access. Alexander placed his thumb on the biometric pad. It scanned green. Then the screen prompted. Second authorization required. Ava stared at it. My father set this up, she whispered. Yes. She stepped forward slowly, placed her hand on the scanner. For a split second nothing happened. Then, access granted. A folder appeared on the screen. Date stamped. 2 days before her father's death. Her breath hitched. Alexander didn't speak. He stood slightly behind her. Not touching her. Not guiding her. Just there. Watching. Guarding. She clicked the file. A video opened first. Her father appeared on screen. Older than she remembered him. More tired. Eyes heavy with something she now recognized as fear. Ava, he said softly. Her knees nearly buckled. Alexander moved closer instinctively but didn't touch her. If you're watching this, her father continued, it means I ran out of time. Tears blurred her vision. You were never meant to be part of this, he said. I tried to clean it up before you inherited the mess. Alexander's jaw tightened behind her. The company was used, her father said. Money passed through it long before you stepped in. Ava's hands trembled. I trusted the wrong people, he admitted. And when I realized what I had signed off on years ago, it was already too late. And the way he said it wasn't just protective. It was territorial. Her breathing grew shallow. "There's a man named Victor Hale," her father said. "He runs the syndicate." The name hung in the air. Alexander went still. "I confronted him," her father continued. "And I confronted someone else." The video glitched slightly, then resumed. "Someone inside our board." Ava's heart pounded violently. "You deserve the truth," her father said, "even if it destroys everything." The screen shifted to scanned documents, financial transfers, internal authorizations, and then a name: Marcus Ellison, her CFO, her best friend, her father's trusted second in command. Her mind went blank. "No," she whispered. Alexander's eyes were locked on the screen. Marcus's digital signature appeared multiple times. Offshore transfers, hidden approvals, unauthorized access logs. "He was funneling data," Alexander said quietly. "No. Ava. No." Her voice cracked violently. "Marcus wouldn't. Your father confronted him." The video resumed. "I don't know how deep Marcus is involved," her father said, "but he's compromised." Ava felt like the air had been ripped from her lungs. "He wasn't always like this," her father continued. "But pressure changes people." The video ended abruptly. Silence filled the archive room. Her chest rose and fell rapidly. "This is wrong," she said. Alexander didn't respond. "You've been watching Marcus," she accused suddenly. "Yes. And you didn't tell me? I needed proof. You had this file. I didn't have access until you authorized it." Her emotions collided violently. "You suspected him and you said nothing. If I told you without evidence, you would have defended him. Because he's family. And that's exactly why they used him." The words hit hard. She turned toward him. "You knew. I suspected. You let me sit across from him in meetings while knowing he might have helped kill my father." His jaw flexed. "I was monitoring him. You were using me." "No. Everything is strategy to you." He stepped closer. "And everything is loyalty to you." Their voices echoed in the archive room. Her chest tightened painfully. "I trusted him," she whispered. "And he betrayed that trust. You don't know that. The file says otherwise." Her vision blurred with tears. "He's been nervous lately," she whispered. "Yes." "You knew that too." "Yes." Her chest ached. "How long have you been investigating him?" "Since the acquisition." "So the takeover wasn't just about me. It was about controlling internal access." "Because of Marcus." "Yes." She let out a shaky breath. "You don't trust anyone, do you?" "No. Not even me." His eyes met hers. "I trust you with my life. But not with the truth." A pause. "That's different." Her heart cracked in ways she didn't expect. "You decided what I could handle." Ava wakes up in a safe house, isolated, but still monitored. Flashback to Alexander's childhood. How obsession, control, and love were intertwined in his psyche. He hunts the syndicate relentlessly, making alliances, threatening board members, leaving chaos in his path. Daniel Kessler contacts Ava secretly, trying to manipulate her into revealing secrets. Ava struggles between fear, trust, and the undeniable pull toward Alexander. Alexander finally tracks a lead but discovers Daniel is playing a larger game. Ends with Ava receiving a message that Alexander is dangerously close, but she can't reach him. Obsession, tension, near heartbreak. First real hint of Alexander's darker, controlling side. Ava's forced into a psychological game by Daniel. Trust him or risk Alexander's wrath. Alexander discovers Daniel's plot and assembles a covert team to strike back. Ava starts questioning Alexander's obsession. Is it love or possession? Alexander saves her from a trap, but Daniel leaks part of Alexander's past to the media. Intense confrontation between Alexander and Daniel, showcasing obsession, control, and calculated power. Ends with Ava and the syndicate's leadership knows she is the key leverage. Ava witnesses Alexander's lethal side for the first time. Daniel Kessler manipulates the media to make Alexander look like a criminal Ava fears for him. Ava recalls moments where Alexander was controlling yet protective, solidifying emotional complexity. Alexander eliminates threats silently, boardroom fights, betrayals exposed, secret alliances broken. Ava begins to realize she's in love with Alexander despite his dangerous obsession. Ends with Alexander protecting Ava from a direct assassination attempt. The syndicate is closing in. Ava discovers a hidden file revealing Alexander's childhood rival, someone who orchestrated the syndicate to test him and hurt him through her. Ava fears Alexander's obsessive streak may make him destroy everyone in retaliation. Alexander uncovers the manipulator, confronts them with lethal precision, revealing how far his obsession will go. Ava struggles with fear, love, and the dark magnetism of Alexander's obsessive protection. Ends with the manipulator neutralized but hints at Daniel Kessler still having power. Kidnap attempt on Ava, using a public setting to lure Alexander into a trap. High-stakes confrontation. Alexander versus Daniel, with Ava caught in the middle. Alexander's obsession turns violent, possessive, and protective all at once. Ava realizes she is irrevocably his. Alexander acknowledges that obsession and love are indistinguishable for him. Syndicate dismantled, Daniel neutralized, internal betrayal exposed. Alexander and Ava together, love confirmed, obsession framed as protective devotion. Emotional, dark, and satisfying finale. Thank you for watching to the end. But the tension remained. The official relaunch party happened 2 weeks later. Press, investors, flashing cameras. Ava wore a deep red dress, armor disguised as elegance. Alexander noticed the moment she entered. His eyes followed her across the room. Possessive, unapologetic. During interviews he stood close. Too close. His hand resting lightly against her lower back for photographs. The media loved it. Power couple headlines already forming. On the balcony, away from cameras, the atmosphere shifted. You're playing a dangerous game, she said. With the press. With me. He studied her face. You think I bought this company to intimidate you? I think you bought it for reasons you're not telling me. Silence. The city lights reflected in his eyes. You're right, he admitted quietly. Her heartbeat quickened. Then tell me. He reached up slowly, brushing a loose strand of hair from her cheek. The gesture was gentle. Unexpected. I can't. Why? His jaw clenched. Because if I do, you'll hate me. Her breath faltered. I already don't like you. That's different. His thumb lingered near her jaw. Heat spread through her chest, confusing, unwanted. Alexander, he leaned in. Close enough that she could feel his breath. Close enough that the world disappeared. For 1 suspended second. 2. 3. He stopped. Pulled back. Not yet, he whispered. Her pulse thundered. What does that mean? It means, he said softly, I didn't just buy your company. The weight in his voice made her stomach drop. Then what did you buy? His expression shifted. Something heavy. Something burdened. I bought time. Before she could ask what that meant, his phone vibrated. He glanced at the screen. And all the warmth disappeared. Go home, Ava, he said sharply. Alexander now. His tone wasn't cold. It was urgent, protective. She stepped back, confused. And that's when she noticed something across the street. A black car. Engine running. Parked too long. Watching them. When she looked back at Alexander, his jaw was tight, eyes locked on the vehicle. And for the first time since he walked into her life, the billionaire who owned everything looked afraid. The black car was still there. Engine running. Windows tinted. Watching. Ava felt it in her bones. That wasn't coincidence. That car has been there all week, Alexander said quietly, eyes fixed on it. Her stomach dropped. All week. Yes. And you didn't think to tell me? His jaw tightened. I needed confirmation first. Confirmation of what? That it wasn't random. The car's headlights flickered on. Neither of them moved. Go inside, he said low. Stop telling me what to do. His composure cracked slightly. For once, Ava, listen to me. The tone in his voice wasn't commanding. It was protective, terrified. And that scared her more than the car. Who is it? She demanded. He hesitated. That hesitation told her everything. You knew this was coming, she whispered. The car slowly pulled away. But the tension didn't. Alexander turned to her fully now. I bought your company because your father left behind something valuable. My father left behind debt. No, Alexander said quietly. He left behind information. Her pulse skipped. What information? He didn't answer immediately. And that was the moment she knew. This wasn't about business. This wasn't about attraction. This wasn't even about control. This was about something dangerous. They were back in his office within minutes. The blinds closed. The city shut out. Alexander poured 2 glasses of water, though he barely touched his. You're going to tell me everything, Ava said, crossing her arms to stop her hands from shaking. He walked to a locked drawer in his desk, entered a code, removed a slim black file. He placed it on the table between them. Her name was written across the top. Her heart pounded. You've been investigating me? She asked, voice sharp. I've been protecting you. From what? From the same people who forced your father into silence. The room went still. My father died from a heart attack. Alexander's eyes darkened. That's what they told you. The air left her lungs. What are you saying? He opened the file. Inside were financial records, offshore accounts, transfers linked to a private defense contractor. This company, Alexander continued, was used years ago to move money discreetly. Your father discovered it. That's impossible. He tried to shut it down. Her hands trembled. You're lying. I wish I were. He slid a photo across the desk. Her father. Shaking hands with a man she didn't recognize. That man runs one of the most powerful private syndicates in Europe. Her throat tightened. My father was an honest man. Yes, Alexander said softly. He was. Then why would he? He didn't choose it. He inherited it. The words hit her like a slap. He found out too late what was happening under his own company. And when he tried to expose it, Alexander's voice lowered. They warned him. Ava's chest constricted. No. Yes. Her breathing became shallow. And when he refused to stay quiet, he didn't finish. He didn't have to. Tears burned her eyes. You're telling me my father was murdered. I'm telling you he was pressured, threatened, monitored. That's not proof. Alexander leaned forward. 3 months before he died, He transferred partial emergency access codes to an external party. Her stomach twisted. You? Yes. Why you? Because I was already investigating them. Silence. Heavy. Unforgiving. You knew my father? A long pause. Yes. Her heart skipped violently. How? Alexander's composure slipped for the first time since she met him. He came to me. Her mind spun. For help. Everything inside her shifted. My father trusted you. He trusted my resources. Did he trust you with me? That question lingered between them. Alexander didn't answer immediately. I promised him something, he said instead. What? That if anything happened to him, I would make sure you were protected. The room tilted. You bought my company to protect me? Yes. By controlling my entire life. By controlling the threat around you. Tears fell before she could stop them. You don't get to decide that for me. I didn't have time to ask. His voice wasn't cold now. It was strained. I've been tracking unusual activity around your accounts for months. Surveillance. Digital breaches. Attempts to access internal archives. She remembered strange glitches. Unusual emails. She had ignored them. They're looking for something your father hid, Alexander said. And they think I have it. Yes. A cold realization spread through her. And do I? He held her gaze. I don't know. He didn't just buy her company. He bought her future. Her power. Her father's legacy. And the worst part? The ruthless billionaire who destroyed her world might be the only man who can save it. But what happens when the man who owns everything decides he wants her too? Ava Reynolds built her company from grief, sweat, and loyalty to her late father's dream. She believed in hard work, integrity, control. Alexander Knight believed in power, acquisition, ownership. When he buys her struggling company overnight, Ava vows to fight him at every turn. But Alexander didn't purchase her business for profit alone. He has a secret, a dangerous reason, and a past that ties him to her in ways she never imagined. This is not just a story about money. This is about obsession, control, betrayal, and a love that begins with a takeover. Welcome back to Prime Tale, where billionaires don't just fall in love, they conquer it. If you love emotional, dramatic, high-stakes romance with powerful men and strong women who refuse to break, make sure you like this video and subscribe. Because this story, it's only getting started. Now let's begin. The email arrived at 6:12 a.m. Ava was still in her apartment, barefoot, hair in a messy knot, reviewing campaign drafts with tired eyes when her screen flashed with a notification. Her stomach tightened. Board meetings never happened this early. She dialed Marcus immediately. "Tell me nothing is wrong," she said the second he answered. There was silence on the other end. That was answer enough. By 7:45 a.m., she was standing in the glass conference room of Reynolds Creative, staring at the skyline her father used to admire. "This company will change lives one day, Ava," he used to say. Now it felt like it was about to be erased. Marcus avoided her eyes. "What happened?" "He bought the shares," Marcus said quietly. "Who?" The conference room doors opened, and time slowed. Alexander Knight stepped inside like he owned the air itself. Tall, precise, calm, dark-tailored suit that probably cost more than her yearly rent. His presence wasn't loud. It was controlled. The kind of control that didn't need to announce itself. The board members stood immediately. Ava did not. Mr. Knight now holds 78% controlling interest in Reynolds Creative, one of the board members said stiffly. Her ears rang. You sold, she whispered. We had no choice, Marcus murmured. The debt restructuring failed. Investors pulled out. Her heart pounded. She had worked 18-hour days trying to save this company. And someone had gone behind her back. Alexander's gaze finally met hers. Cold. Assessing. Interested. And you must be Ava Reynolds, he said smoothly. She refused to extend her hand. You didn't have the courtesy to call. I prefer results over conversation. His voice was calm, deep, controlled. It infuriated her. You dismantled my authority overnight. I prevented your collapse overnight. The room fell silent. Her pulse stuttered. What? He slid a folder across the table. Numbers. Red columns. Deadlines she didn't know were that close. If I hadn't intervened, he continued, this company would have declared bankruptcy within 90 days. Her breath grew shallow. She hated that he might be right, but she hated more that he stood there like her savior. I didn't ask for saving, she said. No, he replied quietly. You didn't. His eyes softened for a fraction of a second. Then it was gone. I will be restructuring immediately, he announced to the room. Executive changes begin today. Her chest tightened. And what happens to me? She demanded. He looked directly at her. That depends. On what? He didn't answer. 2 hours later, he stood in her father's office. Her office. He didn't sit. He walked slowly around the room, observing framed photos and old awards. You kept this place exactly as he left it, he noted. My father built this company from nothing, she said sharply. Forgive me if I don't redecorate his memory. Alexander turned toward her. I didn't come here to erase him. Then why did you come? A long pause. His jaw tightened slightly. You have talent, he said instead. Vision. Leadership. Flattery won't fix this. It isn't flattery. He stepped closer. Too close. You're the only reason this company is worth what I paid. Her breath caught. That doesn't explain why you bought it. Something flickered in his eyes. Not greed. Not pride. Something darker. Let's call it strategic interest. She laughed bitterly. In my company? In you. The words hung between them. Her heart skipped not from attraction. From alarm. I don't belong to your portfolio, she said coldly. No, he replied quietly. You don't. But his eyes said something different. By the end of the week, everything had changed. New security systems. New executives flown in from New York. Internal audits. And Alexander's office was placed directly across from hers. Coincidence? She doubted it. He attended every meeting. Questioned every decision. Challenged every projection. You're emotionally tied to outdated strategies, he told her during one heated discussion. And you're emotionally allergic to humanity, she shot back. A few executives shifted uncomfortably. Alexander only smiled. He liked the fight. That unsettled her more than anger would have. Late one night, Ava stayed behind reviewing contracts when she noticed the lights were still on across the hall. She walked over before she could change her mind. His office overlooked the city. The skyline shimmered against the glass. He stood with his back to her. You work late, he said without turning. You watch me. I observe assets I invest in. She stiffened. I'm not an asset. He finally faced her. No, he said softly. You're a risk. That caught her off guard. How? You care too much. And you don't care at all. He stepped closer. You're wrong. His voice dropped. Care makes you vulnerable. And vulnerability can destroy everything. Something in the way he said it felt personal. Not business. Personal. Who hurt you? She asked before she could stop herself. His expression hardened instantly. Good night, Ms. Reynolds. He walked past her. Conversation over. But the tension remained. The official relaunch party happened 2 weeks later. Press. Investors. Flashing cameras. More shouting downstairs. Security scrambling. Her face pressed against his suit. Heartbeat racing. His arms wrapped around her tightly. Too tightly. You're safe, he whispered against her hair. But his voice carried fury. Deadly fury. He pulled back slightly, eyes scanning her face. Are you hurt? No. His thumb brushed under her eye, checking for glass. The gesture was intimate. Possessive. Relieved. Then his expression hardened. Stay here. Alexander. Do not move. He turned toward the hallway. And for the first time since she met him, she saw it. The darkness beneath the polished billionaire exterior. This man didn't just protect. He hunted. 10 minutes later, the shooter was gone. The car vanished into traffic. But they left behind a message. A single bullet lodged into the wall beside Ava's office door upstairs. Calculated. Precise. Intentional. They weren't trying to kill her. They were proving they could. Ava stared at the damaged wall in shock. Alexander stood beside her, silent. Too silent. This is my fault, she whispered. No. If I didn't work here. He grabbed her shoulders. Firm. Intense. This is not your fault. His face was inches from hers. They targeted you because you are connected to something powerful. I don't want to be powerful, she said, voice breaking. I just want my father back. Something shifted in his expression. Pain. Real pain. I know, he said quietly. His hand slid from her shoulder to her cheek. Not strategic. Not calculated. Raw. They will not touch you, he said. His forehead rested briefly against hers. The contact sent heat through her entire body. You don't know that. Yes, he replied. How can you be so sure? His eyes locked onto hers. Because I will destroy them before they get close. The certainty in his voice was terrifying. And yet, part of her felt safer than she ever had. You're crossing lines, she whispered. For you, he said softly. I will cross every line. Her heart pounded violently. This was no longer business. No longer a promise to her father. This was something else. Something darker. Something dangerously personal. Her voice trembled. Why me? Silence stretched between them. His thumb traced her jaw slowly. Because the moment I met you, I knew. Knew what? That I would never let anything happen to you. That's not an answer. His eyes dropped briefly to her lips. Then back to her eyes. It's the only one that matters. He leaned in. Closer than before. No hesitation this time. No pulling away. His lips brushed her slow, controlled, but burning with restrained possession. The kiss wasn't gentle. It was claiming. Her breath caught. Her hands pressed against his chest not to push him away, but to hold on. He deepened it slightly, one hand sliding into her hair. Protective. Dominant. Obsessed. When he finally pulled back, His voice was rough. You are under my protection now. Her pulse raced. And if I don't want to be? His eyes darkened dangerously. You don't have a choice. The words should have angered her. Instead, they made her feel something she wasn't ready to admit. Because outside, somewhere in the city, someone was planning their next move. And inside this building, a billionaire had just decided that Ava Reynolds wasn't just someone he was protecting. She was someone he was claiming. She stood by the window, staring at the city lights. You don't have to watch me breathe, she said without turning around. I'm not. You've checked the door twice in the last 10 minutes. Silence. You're not sleeping either, she added. I don't sleep well when there's an active threat. That's not what I meant. He didn't answer. She turned. He was leaning against the kitchen counter, sleeves rolled up, tie discarded. Less polished. More human. But his eyes were still sharp. Still scanning. You think they'll try again tonight? She asked. No. You sound sure. They made their statement. And now they wait. For what? For you to panic. She exhaled slowly. I'm not panicking. His gaze softened slightly. I know. A heavy silence settled between them. There's something you're not telling me, she said. He didn't deny it. Alexander. He walked toward her slowly. Measured. Controlled. There's an encrypted file in the lower archive, he said. The one they tried to access. Yes. It requires dual authentication. Meaning, my biometric clearance. Her stomach tightened. And yours. Her breath caught. Why would my father require your clearance? Because he trusted me to guard it. She stared at him. And what's inside? His jaw flexed slightly. Evidence. Against the syndicate? Yes. And silence. That silence was louder than any confession. And what? She repeated. He stepped closer. Too close. Against me. The words landed like a blade. Her heart skipped violently. What does that mean? It means, he said calmly, before your father came to me, I was doing business with them. The room tilted. You were involved? Yes. How involved? Strategically. That's not an answer. His voice remained steady. I invested in infrastructure projects that later turned out to be fronts for money movement. You didn't know. I suspected. Her chest tightened. But you did it anyway. I was building my empire. At what cost? His eyes darkened. Everything has a cost. Her pulse raced. So you're not clean in this? No. The honesty shocked her more than denial would have. When did you stop? The night your father confronted me. Her heart pounded. You met him that night? Yes. And 2 hours later he was dead. Silence fell like a weight between them. You expect me not to connect those dots? She whispered. I expect you to look at me, he said quietly. She did. His eyes held hers without flinching. I did not kill your father. Did your involvement lead to it? A pause. Long. Painful. I don't know. The truth hit harder than a lie. Tears burned her eyes. You don't know. I was trying to dismantle them quietly. Your father accelerated everything. By threatening exposure. Yes. And they responded. Yes. Her chest rose and fell unevenly. You kept this from me. Yes. While kissing me. While protecting me. While telling me I was under your protection. Yes. Why? His voice dropped. Because if you knew, you would never let me near you. And whose choice is that? She demanded. His composure cracked slightly. I didn't want to lose access to the company. His eyes softened dangerously. To you. Her breath faltered. That's not love, she said quietly. That's control. Maybe. The honesty stunned her. Maybe I don't separate the two well. Her heart twisted painfully. You manipulated the entire takeover. Yes. You bought my company to protect yourself as much as me. Yes. Silence swallowed the room. Her entire world had shifted in less than an hour. My father would have told me. He was trying to keep you out of it. She let out a shaky breath. And now I'm in it anyway. Yes. She looked at him. Really looked at him. You didn't buy my company to control me. No. You bought it because it was the only way to legally monitor everything tied to it. Yes. And the black car? Watching. For what? For you to make a mistake. Her heart raced. And if I do? They won't threaten this time. The weight of his words pressed against her ribs. Why didn't you tell me sooner? Because the less you knew, the safer you were. She let out a bitter laugh. I don't feel safe. For the first time, Alexander moved toward her without power in his posture. Just urgency. You are safest with me. The words were intense. Unfiltered. Her breath caught. Are you? His eyes softened. I've risked more than you realize. Why? There it was. The real question. Why her? Why risk his empire? Why step into danger? Why buy a struggling company just to protect one woman? His hand lifted slowly, hovering near her cheek but not touching. Because I failed your father once, he said quietly. And I won't fail you. The vulnerability in his voice cracked something inside her. But fear still lingered. If you're lying to me, I'm not. And if this is another manipulation, then I don't deserve your trust. Silence. Then, a knock at the office door. 3 sharp raps. Alexander's expression changed instantly. Controlled. Dangerous. Stay here, he whispered. He walked to the door and opened it slightly. A security officer stood outside, pale. Sir, there's been a breach in the lower archive servers. Ava's heart dropped. When? Alexander demanded. 10 minutes ago. 10 minutes. Right when they were on the balcony. Her stomach turned. They weren't watching, she whispered. Alexander looked at her. They were distracting us. And suddenly, the acquisition, the relaunch party, the surveillance, it all aligned. They didn't want the company. They wanted something inside it. And they believed she had access. Alexander turned back to the guard. Lock down the building. Then he looked at her. They've made their move. Her voice trembled. What happens now? His answer came without hesitation. Now, I stop playing defense. The way he said it sent a chill down her spine. Because for the first time, the billionaire who had been calm, strategic, controlled, looked ready for war. And Ava realized something terrifying. The man who bought her company to protect her might be far more dangerous than the enemies watching from the shadows. He didn't ask for her trust. He demanded it. And when the threat against her became real, the obsessive billionaire stopped pretending, because protecting her was no longer business. It was personal. And tonight, someone was going to learn exactly how dangerous Alexander Knight could be. The building went into lockdown. Metal security shutters sealed the lower floors. Alarms muted into silent alert mode. Ava stood frozen in Alexander's office as tension thickened the air. "They breached the archive," she whispered. "Yes. And they timed it while we were distracted." "Yes." Her pulse thundered. "That means they knew where we were." Alexander's jaw hardened. "They're watching you." A chill ran down her spine. "Why me?" she demanded. "Why not just break in at night?" "Because," he said quietly, stepping closer, "they want to pressure you." His eyes darkened. "They want you scared." "I'm not scared," she lied. He studied her trembling hands. "You are." The softness in his voice unsettled her more than the danger. He moved closer, too close until she could feel the heat of him. "And that," he said low, "is exactly why I can't let you out of my sight." Her breath caught. "You don't get to decide that." His gaze sharpened. "I do." The dominance in his tone sent something dangerous through her veins. "You bought my company, not my freedom." His hand shot out, not rough, but firm, gripping her wrist just enough to stop her from stepping back. "You don't understand what you're dealing with." "Then explain it instead of controlling it." Silence cracked between them. His grip loosened slightly, but he didn't let go. "I have been tracking the syndicate for 4 years," he said. "They don't threaten twice." Her stomach twisted. "They eliminate." The word hit her chest like a stone. "You think they'll?" "Yes." His answer was immediate. Her heart pounded louder. "I won't let that happen." His voice wasn't cold. It was absolute. Minutes later, they descended to the secure archive level. Security guards lined the hallway. A server rack had been forced open. One system blinking red. Alexander crouched beside it, analyzing. "They were searching," he muttered. "For what?" "For a specific encrypted file." Ava's breath caught. "The one my father left?" "Yes." "How do you know it exists?" He stood slowly. "Because he told me." The truth settled heavily between them. "You were closer to him than you admitted." His eyes flickered. "Close enough." Her chest tightened. "How close?" A pause. "He knew I was obsessed with dismantling that syndicate." Obsessed. The word fit him too well. "And he trusted you?" "He didn't trust easily." "Then why you?" Alexander stepped toward her. "Because I saw the same fire in him that I see in you." He didn't say it, but she felt it. "He didn't trust me with the company," Alexander said instead. "He trusted me with you." Her breath faltered. "What does that mean?" "It means," he said quietly, "if this escalates, I choose you first." The possessiveness in his tone sent a shock through her system. "Over the company?" "Yes." "Over profit?" "Yes." "Over your empire?" His eyes darkened. Without hesitation. The intensity in his voice stole her next breath. This wasn't strategy. This wasn't corporate maneuvering. This was obsession. Suddenly, one of the guards rushed in. "Sir, the vehicle from earlier has returned." Alexander's entire demeanor shifted. Predatory. "Where?" "Across the street." Ava moved toward the hallway, but Alexander caught her waist. Firm. Unyielding. "You're not going near a window." "I need to see." "No. You can't keep me locked up." He leaned down slightly, his voice dropping. "If I have to choose between your anger and your safety, I will choose your safety every time." Her heart slammed against her ribs. "You don't own me." His jaw tightened. "I know." The way he said it sounded like he was convincing himself. Then, gunshot. Glass shattered from a lower floor. Ava flinched violently. Alexander pulled her against his chest instantly, shielding her with his body. The morning started innocently enough. Coffee in hand, Ava walked into the boardroom, Alexander's presence already there. Hands folded, eyes sharp. The usual hum of corporate chatter was gone. Only the hum of tension filled the space. "You saw it?" she whispered. Alexander didn't respond immediately. His gaze was fixed on the tablet in front of him. She leaned closer. The headline burned the screen. Knight Industries linked to syndicate laundering. Billionaire's dark ties revealed. Her stomach dropped. "Impossible," she breathed. "It's Daniel," Alexander said quietly, voice like steel. "He leaked the info." "What? How?" Alexander's jaw tightened. "He's on the board, Ava. And he's been waiting for this moment. He controls the internal PR channel now." Her chest tightened. "So this is public?" "Yes." Ava's mind raced. The corporate empire she thought she understood, the billionaire she trusted, shaken in a single moment. "He's trying to destabilize everything," she whispered. Alexander didn't flinch. He never did. Not even as her pulse raced in panic. "He's testing your loyalty," he said quietly. "And mine." The board members began trickling in, murmurs swirling like a storm. Ava's pulse thundered. Whispers. Gasps. Eyes darting toward Alexander. Some curious, some accusing. "This isn't just a PR nightmare," she said. "It's personal." "Everything in this game is personal," Alexander replied. His gaze swept over the room. Sharp. Dangerous. Protective. Daniel Kessler entered the boardroom, smirking as if the chaos was a stage built just for him. "Good morning," he said smoothly. "I see the news reached you before me." Alexander's lips tightened. "I see you enjoy public theater." "Perception," Daniel replied, "is everything, especially when your empire is built on secrets." Ava stepped forward, voice shaking but firm. "This isn't a game. You're jeopardizing everything, including lives." Daniel turned toward her. His smile thin, dangerous. "Lives," he said softly. "I only expose the weak. And right now." He glanced at Alexander. "You're shaking." Alexander's dark gaze met hers. She felt it like fire. Possessive, intense, controlled, terrifyingly intimate. "You don't intimidate me," she whispered, though her voice betrayed her racing heart. "Not you," Daniel said, tone chilling. "Him." The room went quiet. Every board member aware of the storm brewing between the two men. Alexander rose slowly. His presence expanded, filling the room, commanding respect and fear in equal measure. "Daniel," he said, voice low, lethal, magnetic. "You will regret this." Daniel smirked, almost daring him. "Try me," Alexander continued, stepping closer. "Try to destabilize my company again, and I will ensure that every move you make, every step, becomes your undoing." The intensity made Ava's pulse skyrocket. She felt heat, fear, and something far more dangerous. A pulse of obsession she could almost taste in the air between them. "You're not protecting me, are you?" she whispered, almost to herself. "Yes," Alexander said quietly, darkly. "But not just from him. From everyone who dares touch you. And if I refuse." He stepped so close she could feel his presence like a living force. "Then you'll find out why obsession isn't always gentle." Just as the tension peaked, a staff member rushed in, eyes wide. "Sir." "Miss Reynolds." "There's a media leak. Internal emails just hit every major outlet. Someone accessed the encrypted board files and attached your name, Ms. Reynolds, to the syndicate's finances." Her breath hitched. "You didn't do this," she whispered. "No," Alexander said. But his eyes were deadly, scanning every possible threat, calculating every risk, considering every next move. Daniel smirked. You see, you can't protect her from the world, Knight. Alexander's jaw tightened. He turned, dark eyes fixed on Ava. Don't look at me like that, he said softly. I will protect you, no matter the cost. After the boardroom storm, Alexander pulled her aside into his private office. The door locked behind them. You're shaking, he said quietly. I can't believe this, she admitted. You don't need to believe it, he said, stepping closer. You only need to know. I won't let him or anyone else hurt you. Her chest tightened. You're obsessed. Yes, he admitted softly, almost vulnerable. And it's only getting worse. Ava's eyes filled with a mixture of fear and something else, a pull she couldn't resist. Obsessed, she whispered. Because I see you, he said. I see your every move, your every thought, your every heartbeat. And if anyone touches you... His gaze darkened. They burn. The air between them was electric, dangerous, heated. You don't even know how much power you have over me, he said quietly. Her breath hitched. She realized in that moment that Alexander's obsession was no longer just about protection. It was claiming. It was ownership. It was love. Twisted, dark, consuming love. And for the first time, Ava wondered, could she survive it? Or would it consume her too? Ava had been restless. The city below was alive, but her penthouse felt suffocating. She poured herself a glass of water, staring out over the skyline. The faintest sound too subtle for anyone but her trained ears made her pause. Click. She froze. Footsteps. Not heavy. Deliberate. Inside the apartment. Her pulse thundered. Before she could act, the lights flickered. Alexander, she whispered, panic tightening her chest. He appeared instantly, almost from nowhere. Dark. Silent. Lethal. You heard it too? She asked. Yes, he said quietly. Stay behind me. Her hands trembled. The intruder moved with precision. Not clumsy. Not random. Professional. Alexander's eyes narrowed, scanning every shadow. They're inside, he murmured. Ava's heart raced violently. What do we do? He didn't answer with words. Instead, he grabbed her hand and pulled her into a shadowed corner. Don't move, he whispered. And don't breathe louder than I do. Through the faint glow of the city lights, she could see a figure at the apartment's threshold. A mask. Gloves. Weapons she couldn't identify. Alexander's hand tightened around hers. Ava's breath caught. The intruder reached for the safe where she kept her father's documents Alexander had told her were critical. Alexander's movement was fluid. Lethal. Silent. Ava barely saw the flash of his arm as he disarmed the intruder before they could touch anything. The fight was a blur. She only saw shadows, heard grunts, the metallic clang of the struggle. Then a silence. The intruder lay unconscious on the floor. Alexander's chest heaved slightly, eyes dark. You're alive, she whispered. The underground garage felt colder than usual. Concrete. Echoes. Too much space. Ava stood beside Alexander near the elevator corridor, watching Marcus step out of his car. He looked tired. Not guilty. Not panicked. Just worn. When he saw them both standing there waiting, his expression shifted. You're here early, Marcus said carefully. So are you, Ava replied. Silence lingered. Alexander stood slightly behind her, close enough to intervene, far enough not to speak for her. Marcus glanced at him. This is about the audit, isn't it? No, Ava said quietly. It's about my father. The air changed instantly. Marcus's face drained of color. "You opened it," he whispered. "The file." Her heart pounded violently. "Yes." He closed his eyes briefly. "I was hoping you wouldn't. That wasn't your choice to make." He nodded slowly. "I know." Alexander's jaw tightened. "Explain," he said calmly. Marcus looked at Ava. Not Alexander. Just her. "I didn't betray him," he said. The words came fast. "I was trying to protect him." Her chest twisted painfully. "The file says you authorized transfers." "I did." "Why?" "Because they threatened you." The words hit her like a physical blow. "What?" Marcus stepped closer. "I got a call 6 months before your father died." Her breathing became shallow. "They had photos of you." The world tilted. "What kind of photos?" "Nothing compromising," Marcus said quickly. "Just surveillance. But enough to show they were watching." Her pulse thundered in her ears. "They told me if I didn't cooperate, they'd escalate." Alexander went completely still. "You never mentioned this," he said coldly. Marcus ignored him. "I thought if I complied quietly it would keep you safe." "So you helped them move money?" Ava whispered. "I approved transactions that were already happening. I didn't start them. But you didn't stop them. They made it clear stopping wasn't an option." Her eyes filled with tears. "You should have told me. You were barely holding the company together after your dad got sick," Marcus said. "I couldn't add this." Alexander stepped forward slightly. "You could have come to me." Marcus laughed bitterly. "You think I trust you?" The tension snapped instantly. "You were involved before any of us," Marcus continued. "You built part of their network." Alexander's voice dropped dangerously. "I dismantled it. After profiting from it." The air grew sharp. Ava's head spun between them. "Stop," she whispered. Neither man moved. "You said my father confronted you," she said to Alexander. "Yes." "And 2 hours later he died." "Yes." Marcus's eyes widened slightly. "You met him that night?" Alexander didn't flinch. "Yes." "You never told me that," Marcus said. "It wasn't relevant to you." "It's very relevant," Marcus snapped. Ava's pulse pounded violently. "What happened in that meeting?" she demanded. Silence stretched. Then, "He asked me to take control of the company if things went wrong," Alexander said. Her breath caught. "What?" "He knew the board was compromised. He didn't trust internal leadership." Marcus looked stunned. "He trusted you over me?" Marcus asked quietly. Alexander's voice remained steady. "He trusted my resources." "That's not the same thing." "No," Alexander agreed. "It's not." Ava felt her world fracture again. "You promised him you'd protect me," she said. "Yes." "And did you?" Alexander's eyes locked onto hers. "Yes." "By taking over my life?" "By eliminating variables." "I'm not a variable." His jaw tightened. "I know." Marcus stepped back slightly. "You see what he's doing, right?" he said to Ava. "He isolates threats." "He isolates you." Alexander's eyes darkened. "Choose your next words carefully." Marcus didn't back down. "He bought your company, Ava. Not just to protect you, but to control access to every piece of information tied to your father." "That's not control," Alexander said calmly. "That's strategy." "It's possession," Marcus shot back. The word hung in the air. Ava looked at Alexander. "Is it?" Silence. Then, "I don't separate protection from possession," he said quietly. Marcus let out a disbelieving breath. You hear that? Her heart pounded. I'm not your territory, she said softly. His gaze sharpened. You are when someone is hunting you. That doesn't make me yours. No, he agreed. It makes me responsible. Marcus shook his head. He's dangerous, Ava. Alexander's voice dropped into something lethal. So am I when crossed. Stop, Ava said sharply. The garage echoed with her voice. Silence followed. She looked at Marcus. Did you tell them about the encrypted file? No. Did you know about it? No. She studied his face, searching for cracks. You swear. I swear on your father's grave. Her throat tightened. Alexander stepped closer to her. Swearing means nothing under pressure. Marcus's jaw clenched. You think I'd sell her out? I think fear makes people unpredictable. And obsession makes you blind, Marcus replied. That one landed. Hard. Ava turned to Alexander. Are you hiding anything else from me? A long pause. No. Marcus let out a sharp breath. You're not telling her about the offshore shell companies? Ava's stomach dropped. What shell companies? Alexander's expression didn't change. They're defunct. That's not what I asked. He looked at her. They were used to reroute funds when I was still embedded in the syndicate's infrastructure. Her pulse raced. Are they still active? No. Marcus shook his head. They were accessed last week. Alexander's gaze snapped toward him. That's impossible. I saw the logs. The air shifted. Slow. Dangerous. Someone used your old network, Marcus said. Ava's blood ran cold. Meaning? Marcus looked between them. They're framing him. Silence. Alexander's jaw tightened slightly. Or, Marcus added carefully, someone close to him reactivated it. The implication settled like poison. Who has access to your old infrastructure? Ava asked. Very few people, Alexander said. Names. He hesitated. That hesitation was enough. Names, she repeated. My former chief operations officer. Where is he now? London. And loyal. Silence. Alexander. He left under strained circumstances. Her chest tightened. What kind of strained? He disagreed with my decision to dismantle the syndicate ties. Marcus let out a quiet curse. So he stayed connected. Ava's heart pounded violently. What's his name? Alexander's voice was controlled. Daniel Kessler. Marcus froze. What? Ava asked. Marcus looked pale. He's on our board now. The world seemed to stop. What? He was voted in during the acquisition, Marcus said slowly. And that silence said something too. Was becoming dangerous.